Hi everyone, Eddie here. So if you're following along on this particular project, we are ready to move into Ignition and start building ourselves a perspective project. So I'm going to go to File, New, and New Project. And I'm not, I guess I'll save yeah. So New Project. The project name is going to be, I'm just going to call it Fun with Memory Tags. And I'm just going to leave everything else as a default. And I will hit create new project. We are creating this from scratch. And I have some stuff built in here, but I'm going to go ahead and just delete all of it. So we are starting completely from scratch. Nothing here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, well, there's really two spots I could start, just so you can think about it the way that I'm thinking about it. One is we could start in perspective and start to build out our pages. The other thing that we could do is we could build out the tags. So I'm going to start with the tags because, again, we just built the database that's going to read this tag data. And what we want to do is we want to connect the tags in Ignition to the database and move that information back and forth. So move tag data to the database and then pull information from the database into charts and graphs so we can see how the tags change over time. So starting with the tags is a really good instinct. And then the very next thing we'll do is probably set up our pages and think about the overall layout of what we want to create here. So thinking about the database, we had basically four pieces of information. So is the motor running tag, um, the temperature, the tank level for a tank, and um, the motor speed. So I'm going to go ahead and just make those tags in Ignition. So I'm going to hit this plus sign in the tag browser. I'm going to go to the new standard tag and select a memory tag. Before I click, I just want to say that there are different types of tags. It's worth using all of them. So memory tags are going to allow us to sort of simulate this on our computer. So it's basically just putting information into our computer's memory and taking, reading and writing from that. OPC tags are what you're going to use if you're connecting to an actual PLC or some other device. So if we have sensors that are connected to a PLC, the OPC tag is going to be how we get the data from the PLC into that. So I'm going to do another project where we go that route, but this is really meant for, can I simulate this at home with no equipment? So we're going to use memory tags for this. So the name of this tag is going to be, and you can do these in any order, temp. That's going to be the temperature. The value source is going to be memory, and the data type is going to be a float. If you recall what we did in the database part, we made it a real. So float and real are kind of the same thing. They are the same thing, where a real just stands for a real number, something with a decimal point, and a float means floating point decimal. So they are the same thing. We're going to give it a default value of, let's say, 75.0. It's always good to put the decimal point in because it is a decimal point number. And I'm going to hit OK. And we can see our tag is created here. I'm going to create another standard tag, make it a memory tag, and the name of this one is going to be motor speed. And it's going to be a float as well. And again, I'm going to do the motor speed. There's a couple ways we could do it. We could do it in hertz, like 0 to 60 hertz, but I like RPMs. So standard two-pole motor can go up to about 3450. So I'm going to say like 2200.0. And I'm going to leave it okay, just as it is for now. I'll hit OK. You can see those values. Next, I'm going to create a standard memory tag. And this is going to be tank_level. And it's going to be another float. And this will be 0 to 100%. So I'm going to call it like 70.0% as the value. And then finally, we're going to do a new standard memory tag. And we're going to call this a Boolean, which is a true or a false. And that is going to be motor_running. And I'm going to hit OK. Oh, and you can see here it's null. It doesn't like that. So if I right click and go to edit tags, I can give it a value of false. And so it's either checked or not checked. And you can see if I hit this checkbox, it's going to say change to read write mode, and I'll enable that. And that is something that's happening up here. So if I'm in this mode, it means I can only read the values of the tags. Read write means I can change them. And this means I can't really do anything. It locks it down. So we want to have the full read-write capability. So we want to make sure this is checked right here. But it will give you that prompt when you first start messing with a tag. So that sets up our tags. And from here, we just need to start setting this up in perspective so we can start using these tags to create data.